Good morning, everyone. It's your girl, LaDonna. Welcome back to week 3 of Cardinals Bird Row. And this week has just been your normal of welcome back to spring training. The Cardinals, the whole team for the Cardinals is there. I would say just, pitchers and catchers, but actually the whole team has showed up and showed out. And I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. Yeah, so we'll talk about Carlos Martinez. We'll talk about Adam Wainwright. We'll talk about some prospects. We'll definitely talk about I have a prediction of rosters. So we might see some of that. See if I'm right by the end of the season. The whole and then we'll like I said, and then we'll talk about he's been an interesting story just because he has been hurt so many times and we don't know what they're going to do with him this season just yet. So we shall see. Um, but let's definitely talk about Carlos Martinez real quick. Everybody knows Carlos Martinez has been just kind of hurt, and he's a good pitcher. Let's not start to say he's not. He is a good pitcher. He's just been hurt. That's one of his biggest problems. And how do you overcome that? Do you save him? Do you try to does he start or does he come out of the bullpen? Does he is he a closer? That's what we need to think about because we don't know what might happen in the future. So right now um, the rumors are right now as we speak that he might be coming out of the bullpen, and I think it's actually a good idea. I think it's a great idea. That's just my take on it. Because of his injuries and because they need to save him, and I want him there. They're thinking about possibly building him back up to a starter, and that would be awesome. I think that would be the best way to go um, because of his injury. Of course, there's a lot of people think, well, he needs to be there at the very beginning, which I get it because it kind of feels like we are limited to what's going on. So I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Um, but at the same time, I don't want him to be injured. Adam Wainwright is also fighting for a starting pitching spot, which is, of course, uh, a big deal because he's another injured player. He's another injured person that does he start or does he come out of the bullpen? I think, if he doesn't start, Carlos has to start. So we can't have Adam Wainwright and Carlos Martinez, neither one of them starting. Both of them have to start. They have to. There's no if, ands, buts about it. They have to start. So that's what's going on right now. They have something. One of them has to stay complete healthy and start right now, or one's got to go. Like go back to the starting spot. This is my issue when I spoke about it. If you watched week one, week 1 or week 2. I have stated I feel like we needed another starting pitcher. Some fans may agree with me, some fans may not, but I did read that Mozeliak is not interested and getting somebody else. They're perfectly fine with their team as we speak. And I don't know. I'm not for sure about that. I'm not sold. I'm not sold, right? I'm not sold at all. I'm not sold on it because what if one of these two get injured? And I understand that injuries are part of the factor in every team. I get it. But when you have two players that have multiple injuries within the last couple seasons, it's a big deal. Uh, I personally would love Carlos Martinez starting. If I had to choose between the two, if I had to choose between Adam Wainwright and Carlos Martinez, I would I would want that, but I'm not for sure if I'm gonna get my wish. I think it'd probably be more Adam Wainwright starting because he is the veteran, and then Carlos Martinez out of the bullpen. But shall see, because like I stated, this is just a rumor. I'm not for sure if it's accurate at all, and we'll see. So let's talk about some prospects. There's 5 prospects that the Cardinals have. A couple of them are in the top 5, and I like it. I like it a lot. Well, for the Cardinals. For MLB's farm system, we're actually ranked number 12, and we're ranked number 12 right now. And I get it is because of 2 of our top prospects are going to probably end up in the major leagues this season. Which is one is Alex Reyes. Like I said, we'll talk about him eventually, and then they are thinking about um, pulling Keisner up, which is a possibility. I talk about him. I've been talking about him because he is the catcher right now. That's in the minor leagues that everybody is loving. Also, there's a couple. There's a couple other players. Like I said, we'll talk about them. We will talk about them. But let's go ahead. The first prospect, which is number 4, um, Ryan Housley, number 4 in the prospect. He is a pitcher. He's been holding batters at a 1.97 batting average. He was drafted in 5th round in the 2015 June amateur draft, uh, which is great. Now, will he see Cardinals this season? I don't think so. I don't unless we just something continuously keeps happening. I don't think we're going to see him this season at all. I just don't think we have the opportunity. I don't think he has the opportunity just yet. Um, I don't think he will unfortunately just get the opportunity. Will he get the opportunity eventually? Yes, he will definitely get the opportunity. But he definitely will. Um, I will say if you do want to call me, because I do have a phone and I totally forgot to mention that earlier. Um, if you do want to call me and ask questions, the phone number is 972-406-6077. But let me double check to make sure that is right because I am forgetful and my brain forgets and I'm sorry. But like I said, prospects are definitely the key that we need. And he's like I said, he'll come. He'll be eventually coming. I just don't think it'll be this season. It might not even be next season. It might be a couple seasons away. I don't think that it's going to come soon. The next prospect, like I've been talking about him, I'm going to keep talking about him, is Keisner. Keisner is a catcher. He is definitely going to be one of those players that needs to be there, because what if Pena gets hurt? What if because if Yachty gets hurt, Pena is going to take over. But of course, that's here or there. The phone number again is 972-460-6077. Again, 972-460-6077. If you would like to talk to moi, that would be amazing if you would call and talk to me. So back to Keisner. Keisner he was a 2016 7th round draft pick. Right now in the minors, he's hitting .310, and his slugging percentage is a .460, which is, amazing. And then his OPS is .833. They are really liking his batting, obviously, and then they are grooming him. He is getting groomed by Yachty, which, really say much after that when you're getting groomed by Yachty. So he is definitely going to be another one to look out for. I'm hoping we do kind of see him this season. No offense to Pena, because I really do like Pena. It's a big deal. Next one, Guinness Cabrera, number 13 on the list. He's a lefty. He's already getting comparisons to Carlos Martinez, which I think is pretty cool right now. A lot of people might not think that, because I didn't down Carlos. I actually really do love Carlos. Carlos is actually my mother's favorite player right now. He is definitely one of those people that you need to keep there. He's 2018 DR League. He did amazing work. In 20 games, he had an ERA of 1.26, which, how can you just not be mad? How can you be mad at that? He was acquired during that Tommy Pham trade, which, I kind of feel like we didn't really get much from him. But after seeing this, it's like, oh, okay, we did. We got something. And I think this DR prospect, I think he's going to be a good prospect for us. I don't think that I don't think he's going to see this season or next season again. But you never know with prospects, because he actually is one of those prospects that somebody might get hurt. You have to just remember, there's always a chance. I never want to steal a chance from anybody, and that is possibility of that chance. Next person is Roman Urias. He's number 20. He's an infielder. Right now, we're kind of stacked on infielders, but it's one of those situations. His batting average right now is a 300. He played in the Mexican League for the last 5 years, and he just got signed in January, and he's already risen to the AAA. So that's just letting you know the stats that he is actually doing, like what he is doing. He's down there hustling. Yeah, he's had experience from everything else. He's had some experience, but he is definitely down there hustling, and he's definitely trying to beat out others to come up to the big leagues. He's doing his thing, and I'm not mad at him. Very proud, very, 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 very proud of this guy. Hopefully, he does amazing work. Hopefully, he does just. I hope all the prospects, because I know some people. You hear them; they've been in the minors forever, so you don't want that. You really don't want that. Um, so, and then last but not least is Lane Thomas. He's an outfielder. In the 2018 season, he had 26 home runs in 132 games. They love this kid because he is very, very, very speedy. Um, he was acquired from the Blue Jays in the 2017 International Bonus Pool money. That's how we received this kid. And I do think that this can be possibilities of, you know, something to look forward in the future. Uh, you know, we need speed. Everybody needs speed. It would just be kind of interesting to where he would go. Definitely is to see because we have Wong at second, and then we have Goldie at first. So I don't know if how our infield's kind of deep too. It's not as deep as our outfield, but our backups are pretty deep. If you ask me, my I will say real quick, if you're following me, I do have two networks that to promote. It's one is 27 ounce baseball. The other one is strictly prohibited sports. Both of them we have. If you like to play fantasy baseball, football, whatever, any fantasy sport, please check out 27 ounce baseball page or strictly prohibited page. We have links to Thrive Fantasy, new sponsors for both. Thrive Fantasy. I actually played it the other day. It's really interesting. It's really cool. And I do like it. I do like it a lot. So if you can, please, 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 please go check them out. Thrive Fantasy. Um, if you click the link from our page, from either page, you will definitely get you get like a $2 bonus from us because you went through our link. So you can just try it out for free. I tried out NBA. I'm not a big NBA fan. Obviously, I understand I'm talking baseball, but I just wanted to say since baseball season is not just there yet, we and it's coming. But I just wanted to see how the website worked. I wanted to see what it looked like, what I could do, and it was real cool. Again, Thrive Fantasy is our new sponsor. Please check them out. Please, 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 please. Um, because that helps us out. Let me be honest. No, but it is fun. It's people have to remember, have fun. Always have fun when you can. Always. Um, but let me do some predictions. Um, the predictions I'm doing is just a roster prediction and a lineup prediction. That doesn't mean I'm gonna be right. Doesn't mean the prediction for who's going to be out there playing is probably going to be more likely right, just because everybody knows unless something changes. Um, Everybody kind of that's a Cardinals fan knows where they are going to be, like where these players are going to be. Um, but other than that, the lineup might be different. Obviously, um, it might be different just due to the fact we don't know what their lineup's going to be. We have no clue what it's going to be. Um, it might be totally off. But I'm just going to check. Like, I'm going to keep my lineup and I'm going to check when the season starts and see how close I was to being correct. And then I'll come back and tell you guys to see how I might be correct. You never know. You never know. I might be like totally on it. My predictions for the roster is of course, Yachty, and I think his backup is going to be Pena. I really do think that he's going to have that opportunity. I do think that is going to be something for that's not like that's something that's given. Obviously, Yachty's going to be there. There's some given places, obviously, on our team, just like first Goldsmith's going to be there. There's nobody else going to be there. Second is Wong, and I think his backup is going to be Munoz. Shortstop is going to be Paul DeYoung. Third is going to be Matt Carpenter, and then the outfield is going to be Ozuna, Bader, and Fowler. Martinez, like I spoke before, week 1, week 2, Martinez is going to be there, or Martinez is only going to be there if lefties are pitching. That's the only time that they are going to be there. That's it. Our utility players are going to be Jerko and Robinson. I'm not for sure on Robinson, but definitely. But we do have a call. Let's take this. Hello, you're on the air with LaDonna.
Hey, LaDonna, it's Patrick from Hot Pot Sports.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, how are you doing?
I'm good.
What we talking about?
Right. Well, I'm talking about some Cardinals baseball.
Okay. So, let me ask this. As a Cardinals fan, how fired up were you about the Goldschmidt trade?
Oh, man, I was that just made my day because we did not need Carlos Martinez there, and Matt Carpenter needed a break, and I feel he's better at third. So when we got him, that was amazing. We needed that. We needed to get a first baseman, a true first baseman. I wish we had the DH this season because Carlos Martinez would be a great DH, but we can't. They didn't trade him because his bat is so good. So it worked out. We just are very crowded now in the outfield because of this trade.
Right.
But it's okay. I think everything will work out for the team.
Okay. So what do you feel? And I'm sorry if you covered this already, so I apologize if I'm asking something
it's okay.
you've already covered. But what do you feel is the biggest need? And then what is the biggest question mark? I'll give you mine and I'll let you go because you're a fan. I think the biggest need is still a bullpen piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest question mark is Marcell Ozuna. He had a down year last year.
Mm-hmm.
But is he going to regain form and be the player that he projects to be and that St. Louis thought they were getting from Miami?
He is a question mark. I don't think he's my biggest question mark right now, but he is a good question mark. He is down there throwing. He is down there looking good in spring training. They do have him on a throwing regimen, and they said he's doing well with that. So we shall see on how that goes. My biggest question mark is actually Alex Reyes, the pitcher that has been out the last 2 seasons. But I do agree with you on pitching. From the bullpen, I actually think we should get another starter so one of our starters can go to the bullpen. I did cover that at the very, very beginning because I really think the rumor is Carlos Martinez might come out of the bullpen. And if he did, then obviously we do need another starter. And that would be great because since Carlos was already a closer, this wouldn't be an issue. This,
Okay.
he used to.
Yeah, that makes sense. And do you think that some of the reasoning behind that or thought process to protect his shoulder and arm a little bit?
Yeah.
Put him, bring him in as a high leverage reliever, and then ease him back into the starter. Yeah, that makes sense. And I know nobody wants to spend money right now, and I really don't get that. I think that there's still some people out there that can help.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some starters out there that can help. St. Louis always has a really good farm system, so they can make a trade for someone if they wanted to. Spring training, well, I guess we'll say a lot for everyone, but that division isn't getting any weaker, right?
Correct.
Cincinnati made some moves to improve themselves. I don't know if they're on the level with you all, the Cubs, or the Brewers even, but they're not going to be a pushover. The Pirates, they'll be competitive just because they're the Pirates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this year could be the year where maybe only one team out of that division makes the playoffs. I mean, I highly doubt it because the West is terrible. The East has gotten a lot better, and it really depends on what big fish ends up in the East to see where that's going to go. But yeah, that division is probably arguably the best division from top to bottom, right? I don't think there's any other division in baseball where we can say that three teams have a legitimate shot at the title, because they all battled it out last year. You always got to go with the champs. That's just my feeling. Whoever's division winner, you got to go with them until someone knocks them off.
Of course.
If the Brewers get another starting pitcher, then they just might be the team to beat in that division.
Mm-hmm.
Everything went well for them last year, right? So how often do you see it go where everything clicks for a team 2 years in a row without being established, right? Because there's a difference, right? There's a difference between the teams that are always good and then the team that has everything kind of go right for them that 1 year. Can they come back and replicate that? And we don't see that often.
No,
we know St. Louis is consistent. We know Chicago's consistent. The Astros are consistent. The Indians are consistent. The Red Sox are consistent. The Yankees are consistent. The Nationals and the Dodgers. Nationals and Dodgers are consistent at winning, but consistent at losing in the postseason. So at the end of the day, where does that leave Milwaukee in that division? And then what is everyone else going to do? Because the Cardinals struck quick with Goldschmidt.
Yep.
Goldschmidt, I think, really pick up. I agree with everything you said. It allows Carpenter to go back to third base. It takes pressure off everyone. Now everyone can just slide in and do their thing. No one really has to do too much. So they can hit. I mean, you got some hitters. You're right there. You got to find a place for Martinez to play because apparently he's just a defensive liability no matter where you put him. But the kid can hit.
Yeah.
But then maybe he could be a good trade piece too to get a better starting pitcher back too. I mean, that's something to think about as well because you got some really young, talented outfielders there as well. St. Louis, as quiet as kept, man, that's like outfielder you, right? I mean, St. Louis always has outfielders.
Yeah. We don't have a problem with outfielders. We just can't get pitching.
Never have. Like, I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, man, when I think back, to the days of whatever, they've always had outfielders. That's the one thing that St. Louis is. Listen, two things we know St. Louis always had, right? Outfielders and a shortstop. Two things they've always had.
Yeah, and a catcher. You can't forget the catcher. You can't forget my Yachty.
You know what?
You can't forget Yachty and Mike Matheny.
You know what? You're absolutely right, and I think that's a shame that I missed that because Yachty has just been there, and Matheny was good too. But I think I don't know. Like the Phillies traded for JT Realmuto, right? I'm happy about that because that's what I root for. But I still think that Yachty's the best catcher in baseball. And I talk about JT being the best catcher, this and that, right? And I don't know. I mean, the kids put together a couple good years, but nobody does what Yachty does defensively. In his head, he had a really good offensive player last year. We know the only thing Yachty can't do is run, right? I mean, he just can't run, right? So JT Realmuto can run, but I mean, I don't know, Donna. I just don't know that I'm ready to put anybody above Yachty as being the best catcher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
JT is coming up, but I don't know if he overtakes him. And I know people will go with stats and numbers, but I'm not really a big numbers guy. I know what I see with my own eyes, and I trust that more than anything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't disrespect numbers, but I'm of the old school, and I feel like you can pull enough numbers to make an argument go your way if you dig hard enough and long enough in the numbers, right? Like, we can sit here, we can pull up their stats, and we'll see actually how close they were, but then you might give one of them an edge here. But at the end of the day, if I'm running on Jason Real Mutual. I'm not trying to steal a base on Yachty, and that's where I leave it, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I brought him up, and of course, people dogged me, and I'm like, I understand he's at the end of his career, but when you're at the end of your career, because me and him are only a couple months away, part of our age, when you're 36, still out there playing you're playing every game, and you're telling the coach, no, I don't need a break, I'm okay. At 36, and you've been a catcher for all your life, and I'm having issues with my knees because I was a catcher for a good part of my life. I give it to him. For being 36, you'll be 37 in the middle of the season, and you're still out there throwing the ball 2 second, jumping up, running, controlling. Like, they don't even have to go out there and talk to the pitcher because Yachty will already done it. That's one of the rules I guess I don't like, is they did the whole how many times you can visit the mound. Not saying Yachty went up there 1,000 times, but now you have to pick and choose when is a good time to go. But he does control the game. He's been actually helping out the prospects, the young kids in spring training. I don't think he's suited up just yet, but he is down there helping everybody. He has no limitations. They're just watching him teach. He's going to be a great coach.
Yes, he is. He definitely is going to be a great coach, and I think he'll probably be one of the next players that will go right into a big league manager role, in my opinion.
And Cardinals are going to try to keep him. His brother's there. His brother's already there announcing for the Spanish channel and for Spanish radio. And so, of course, they're going to try to keep Yachty, because we're going to keep all the Molinas. We just need the other one, because we have Benji and Yachty right now. Yeah, but I do, like I said, what you said about the pitching, I agree with that. Definitely 100%. That is my biggest worry. But, Cardinals are saying that they're content with what they have. And I'm a little iffy, but I'm a Cardinals fan, so I'm going to trust it.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Why not? What have they done in their history to not allow you to trust it?
Yeah, that one season with Matheny, I almost cried because, we're spoiled. A lot of people are like, you guys suck. I said, I know we do, but what can you do? We're spoiled. We're not, I saw so many fans upset and mad and angry. And I was like, I wasn't about to attack anybody or anything, but we are like the Yankees. The top teams, even the Braves were there for a while. Braves have just now starting to come back. But we're the top teams that always was winning. The Dodgers, they're always winning their division. To not win it and not even get to the playoffs at all, right. It sucked. It hurt. But we're going back. Like you said earlier about 3 teams may possibly come out. I've been reading the odds, and they do have like us in like every Cardinals, Cubs, and Brewers are all in the in the mix of coming out winning.
Got to. I mean, there's no reason to not have it that way right now, right? I mean, that's where the power lies right now, in until these other two big guys make a decision on where they're going to go, it has to be that way, right? And Lord knows when they're going to sign, where they're going to end up. I have my feelings on it.
Yeah.
And I hope they continue to hold out to get what they want. I really do. I'm on the side of the players in this thing, and we're going to try and talk about that a little bit tonight too. I think it's a little sideways, right? Both ways. I mean, listen, baseball has always paid their players.
Yeah.
And I think it's the last couple of years they've kind of scaled back on these bigger or longer term contracts, and I think that's fine to a point. But you're talking about two kids that are 25, where they're both 26, right? So they'll be 35, 36 if they get these 10-year deals. And there's so many things they can put in. There's 5-year opt out, 8-year opt out. I mean, why think about paying them the same annual value over 3 to 5 years and not just stretch it out? That's where I come in. And then baseball, the revenues are still rising, and the players aren't seeing it. It'd be different if the players were seeing it, right? But it goes down. Like somebody made a comment earlier on the post about how the minor leaguers are still struggling to be able to play and have to find jobs. So there is a systemic problem with that pay structure. And I hope that these guys sign, but they got to be a little bit more realistic and get it done. And I think baseball needs to implement a free agency or a signing period. Like I think that there should be something in place where they have to sign these contracts by January. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like they have all off season. Well, they just have all off season until whenever to sign these contracts. I think that will help some. I think if they can put a time frame on when deals get done and when these guys sign, then that'll speed everything up a little bit. Because listen, I don't see them not getting what they want by taking their time. I think everybody's waiting for everyone to blink. In my personal opinion with Donna, I think it's really the issue is not the contract offers. I think it's the agents. I didn't realize that they don't like each other, and neither one of them are wanting to set the market for the other. So I think until someone really comes in and says, okay, we're going to give you the 10, 350, let's just get it done, right? That nothing's going to happen because one of these guys don't want to have the other one set the market, which is kind of foolish because that's silly. Now you're holding everybody else up because you two don't like each other.
Yeah, but let me have to go because I have another call coming, and I will call you guys tonight.
All right, sounds great.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Hopefully my call will call back. I had a couple calls. If you just called, please call back. Your area code 410. Please call back. But like I said, give us a call. Totally missed it. I'm sorry, area code 423. Area code 423. If you're listening, please give us a call back. But let me go back since we had that great call. That was a great call. Hodgepodge Show. They have a good show. They come on Saturday nights. They will be on tonight. Please check it out. They do talk about everything. Don't just talk about baseball, but they do talk about everything. Please check them out. Great guys. You'll enjoy the show. But let's go back to my lineup. My prediction of a lineup. This is who I think the batting order of the lineup that we'll have. I do think Carp is going to be number one. There's a good chance that it's either. I really do think it might be Yachty number two, but there's another possibility that DeYoung is number two. I can see both at number two, but let's just say that DeYoung is number two, Goldie is number three, Ozuna is number four, Yachty is number five, Bader 6, Wong 7, Fowler is number 8, and then of course you have the pitcher. I saw a couple different other lineups, and they had Fowler a little bit higher, and they had Bader at number 8. I had Fowler right there just because of his lack of hitting last season, and I'm not for sure if he's dealt with a lot, but I do think, I'm giving him a second chance. There's a lot of people that are just already written him off at the beginning of the season because of last season and what he did. We did not get the Fowler that we were promised. But I do think I think he'll do good this season. If not, I think he will be traded by All-Star break. Luke Gregerson thinks he's still injured, but he is on a throwing program. He thinks he'll be able to play by the expedition season, basically spring break. Spring training. I hope he is. I did like him, and I hope he is one of our closers. They do think that Hicks will be not a closer, but he's going to be the setup man, right? Of course, and if you don't know what that means, he's going to be the man that's going to set up for the closer to come in. And that's where they think Hicks will be this coming up season, which I think that would be great. If you don't know about Hicks, you need to look him up. And watch a couple videos. This kid's average speed, his fastball is 105. Your curveball is like 102, 103. It's insane. It's insane how fast this kid can throw. I do think there's not too many other pitchers like him. So to get him up as a setup, we can, if he could stay in. But his biggest issue was it was control. But once he learns how to control his throws better, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. We might be unstoppable if he can control his stuff, and we have a great closer. Like I stated before in the last couple shows, our bullpen is the one that killed it for us. So we need somebody to be able to come in and set up the closer with no runs and get the job done. That goes for the rest of the bullpen. Hopefully we don't have to go to the bullpen for a lot, but I definitely think we can do it if we have the right people in play. I do think I'm fingers crossed that Miller is going to be good, like the Miller that not last season Miller, like this couple seasons ago Miller. Alex Reyes, like I spoke about earlier, he is my big question mark. Will he be that guy to come in, and will he stay healthy this season? Well, the rumor has it that he is going to start in Memphis for the 2019 season. I can see that as a good thing. They're trying to get his pitch, to check out his pitch, make sure he's good. Alex, the biggest thing for him last season, he was starting pitching, and he was in the game, and he was hurt. And he told Mike Matheny that he was okay. But then, like, the next pitch, he called him, and it was like, okay, yeah, it's really hurting. And then about a week later, we found out he, like, really hurt himself, and then he was out for the season. He just was, of course, we were all disappointed because we lost him the year before to Tommy John surgery. And now this was like a quad injury, I think. So again, we need him to be healthy. I want him to stay healthy. I want him to be there, of course. Who doesn't want him to be there? But 2019 in Memphis, I think that's a good move the Cardinals are doing. I don't think he will I don't think he'll be down there long, but he'll probably be down there to maybe June, end of May. Just depends on how well they're doing and how well the Cardinals are not doing. It just depends on the record. Like I spoke about earlier, Drew Robinson, he was acquired from a trade with Texas Rangers. He is also there. Like I said, the whole team showed up. It was one of those, and they said this is one of the years that this is the earliest they saw the whole team, the whole Cardinals team show up to spring training on like way beforehand. So the saying was like, if you're on time, you're late. And this is one of those times it's feel if you were a Cardinals player and you just showed up today or yesterday, you're late because the whole team is there and is out there practicing and playing. They said they feel something a little bit different in this spring training. They feel that these players are going to do something, and I hope so. As you know, like I told Hodge earlier, that we were spoiled. We were spoiled as Cardinals fans. We don't know how it is to really lose, to have back to back to back to back losing seasons. It hasn't been like that in a long time. Um, it's been, of course, I'm not saying we didn't have it. It's just been a very long time since they've had, it's been like that. We have to give Mike Schultz his first season, whole season, as the new coach. I do think he did well in his half season that he had. Some people feel like we, named him head coach too soon, but the young players know him from AAA, from spring training, and we have a majority young team. So I think this is good for the young players to have, especially when we have younger players that are going to wanting to be moving up. And he trusts the veterans. From what I've been seeing and what the videos I have been posting so far this week, he's letting the veterans to guide the players, the younger players, which that's how it should be. The veterans should be out there teaching these kids how to become a better player. Just not a player, but an overall athlete, and a teammate. Some you hear people that just don't get along with other teammates, and it's like it's not about you and so not getting along. This is about a team, and you just have to suck it up and go win. That's what I do say, and hopefully they're learning all that from this season. I will be in spring training. I would be at 2 games. I'm hoping I can record a little bit of it and show you guys. I'm going not till the middle of March. It's be March, I think 17th and 18th. We are going to 2 games. Seeing the Phillies, and we're seeing the Marlins. These actually are 2 teams I have not seen, and I haven't seen the Marlins in a while. I have seen them play before, but this is a couple teams I have not seen in spring training. Last year, last couple times I've seen the Astros, I've seen the Braves, we've seen the Nationals. So this will be interesting to see different teams. I wanted to go a little bit earlier just because they're playing the Yankees like that Thursday before, but had to change schedule. It's okay. It's okay. But hopefully I'll get some good coverage out there and I can record and show you guys while just a couple different things, how close. If you've never been to spring training, it's one of those things that you have to go and do at least one time in your life if you're a Cardinals fan. Just one time, because you're so close. The atmosphere is great. Their spring training, they actually sell out fairly quickly. I had a cousin write me about it, and I said she wants to go. I said, first, you need to make sure there's tickets to the game before you start making all these other plans. Just due to the fact that spring training, they go by like that. Cardinals fans travel well. They love Jupiter. Jupiter is like a beautiful, beautiful city in Florida. You'll have a blast. Like I said, go at least once. I took my mom for the first time. I guess it'll be 4 years ago now. I took her in 2015 for the first time to go, and she loved it. I lived in Florida for a little bit, so that's how I got to experience it every spring. Every spring, I went down there and see them, and it was a blast. So when I took my mom, we actually did kind of like a road trip, and we followed them. We did 3 games. Um, we did 2 games in Jupiter, and this was before the Nationals moved. We went and up and got watched them a couple hours away. Then we went to Orlando, and then we came home. Um, but it was fun, and I'm glad I was able to be there with my mom, experience spring training for the first time because, and like I said, it is a great experience. Um, Next week's show, we'll probably, of course, I'll be talking about any updates if there's any great news from the Cardinals. Uh, we'll also talk about. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, like Hodge said, that one of the big players is signed. A couple players feel that there might be a mid-season walkout. I hope that is not the case. I hope that is a rumor, but I will look into it more and see if it keeps escalating and if they feel like it's going to keep building to that. We will talk about that. We will also talk about what's just going on around the league. There's a few signings here and there, but nothing like too major. I was hoping Dallas Kershaw would just come to St. Louis and just be over with, but I don't think that, like I said earlier, I don't think that's happening since Mo said he's happy with all the people he has. So until next time, thanks for everybody that is watching. Thanks for everybody that called in. Thanks for everything. This is one of my biggest dreams. Again, check us out on 27 Outs Radio, Strictly Prohibited Network. Check me out. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. My name is LaDonna Samani. Please check me out. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on everywhere that you can find me. Facebook, whatever you need. My Twitter is Sports Diva 82. My background is Yachty, so you know it's me. 27 Outs Baseball, you'll find me there. Strictly Prohibited Network, you'll find me there. Until next Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern, it was great talking to you. Peace.